Oh, welcome to 2.2 Distributive Property Day 2. So 2.1 was distributive property problems that you probably or should have seen in 7th grade. Now we're going to be distributing fractions and dealing with other issues with distributive property. All right, so let's just review distributive property from yesterday. So that's 12x plus 15y. And you stop there because they are not like terms. I'll try to be a little neater. Here, we're distributing. Here you're distributing a 1. And I wanted to make sure you saw that because that sometimes comes up on tests. And so 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 5 is 15. Here, you're just distributing 1. So 1 times x is x. 1 times 6 is 6. But we have like terms, right? So we have to combine them. 3x plus x is 4x. 15 plus 6 is 21. So this is 4x plus 21. All right, so number 3 is what we're doing today. And so let's see if we already can do it. So 1/3 times 3, right? Those cancel and make 1. So 1/3 times 3x is 1x or x. Then we have a -6 there, so it's 1/3 times -6. Well, the 3 cancels with the 6, and this becomes -2 or -2. So that simplifies to x minus 2. Try the next one without my help. So you're multiplying both of these by 2/5. So 2/5 times 5, those cancel, right? And you should get 2x, and it's going to be positive. And then 2/5 times 15y. So 5 cancels with the 15 becomes a 3. So we have 2 times 3y, which is 6y. So distributing a fraction, something not every 7th grade teacher goes over. Okay, so how do we divide terms, right? We hardly ever write x divided by 4 in algebra class. We write x over 4. It means exactly the same thing. It's also the same as multiplying by 1/4, right? If you have $1 and you want to divide it by 4 of you, you would each get 25 cents. But 1/4 is multiplying by 1/4 is the same as dividing by 4. So same thing here. If you have 2x divided by 5, you could write it as 2x over 5. And that is the same as 2/5 times x. It is. These are the same. And so let's make sure we understand that. Okay, so more distributive and negative. So this is -4, right? But when we have that situation, we're going to distribute a -4 there. So please do that. So we have 7x minus 4x minus 8. -4 times 2 is -8. Do I have like terms? Yes, I do. 7x minus 4x, 3x, 3x minus 8. So we distribute a -4 there. If you try to distribute a +4 there and then subtract, it doesn't work. So please don't do that. So we're going to be distributing a -2 here. So we have 5x plus 20 minus 2x minus 14, right? -2 times +7. Combine the like terms. 5x minus 2x is 3x. 20 minus 14 is +6, so we get +6. We're distributing a -3 here. Again, here's where we're distributing a +1. It's sort of just silly, but I want you to see that. -3 times x is -3x, or minus 3x. -3 times -2 is +6, so that's a +6. Combine your like terms. X minus 3x is -2x. 7 plus 6 plus 13. That simplifies to -2x plus 13. So notice, these two expressions have the same exact value. It's just that we consider the one at the bottom simpler, hence the term simplifying. Here, what are you distributing here? We talked about this yesterday. You're distributing a -1. Okay, so it's 3x plus 5 minus 2x. Everyone gets that. -1 times -7 plus 7 that becomes. 3x minus 2x is x, or 1x is x. 5 plus 7 is 12. So that simplifies to x plus 12. Okay. Dividing and multiplying by the reciprocal are always equivalent, right? When you were doing fractions like 1/2 divided by 1/3, right, you would multiply by the reciprocal, right? Because that was a procedure to do those problems. But that's always true, that dividing and multiplying by the reciprocal are always equivalent. So let's see that. Evaluate the expression for x equals 20. So x divided by 5 is 4, right? 1/5 times x is 1/5 times 20, also 4. Division and multiplying by the reciprocal. So dividing by 5 or multiplying by its reciprocal, 1/5, are always equivalent. So x over 5 and 1/5 x are the same thing, written two different ways. You need to know that. Are these two the same? Let's just check it with x equals 20. So we have 2x, or 2 times 20, over 5. 2 times 20 is 40. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 2/5 times x is 2/5 times 20, canceling, and you also get 8. So 2x divided by 5 is the same as 2/5 x. So notice, when you have x here, it is the same as putting it in the numerator, right? That is very key. Why is that key? Students sometimes get sloppy and write x down there. That is not okay. That makes it look like x is in the denominator. When you write 2/5 x or 1/5 x, you have to make sure that x is in the middle of this fraction bar or higher. If it's a little high, it's fine, because 2x over 5 and 2/5 x are the same thing. They are not the same as 2 over 5x. You could put some numbers in and see that that is totally different. So be careful when you write fraction coefficients. All right, so which of these expressions are equivalent? Well, we're going to distribute a 1/5 here. 1/5 times 3, right, we can do in our head, is 3/5 x. All right, so it's going to be 3/5 x. Now, we just learned 3/5 x and 3x over 5 are the same. This is not the same. Okay, so I already know, hopefully, that that's the problem. Let's make sure that the rest of it's the same. 1/5 times 20, right, is the 4, and it's -4. Yeah, so both of these are equivalent to that. You could write it either way. Most people will write it 3/5 x, but 3x over 5 is the same thing, but C is not. That's the point of this screen, that you know that. All right, distribute this. So 1/5 times x is 1/5 x, so we're going to write that x in the middle of the 1/5 or higher, right? You could write x over 5. It is the same thing. 1/5 times 10xy, right? So 1/5 times 10, right, is 2. So this is 2xy, and xy terms are not the same as x terms and not the same as y terms. And then 1/5 times 5 just cancels, you get 1, but it's -1, so -1y or -y. And you're done there. So you say that is 1/5 x plus 2xy minus y. And there are no like terms there. 2/5 times 5x equals 2x, right? Those 5's cancel. And then 2/5 times 2 is 4/5. So we're going to get our first fraction answer here, -4/5, right? These 2's do not cancel. They are side to side. You cannot cancel them. So you get 2x minus 4/5. You're done. You can get fractions in these. Typically, I'll write them without that, but that can happen. All right, so you have to multiply both of these things by 6. So 6 times 1/2, right? That cancels. And you get 3x. 6 times 1/3, right? Y over 3 is the same as 1/3. Right? They cancel, and you get -2y. So this is 3x minus 2y. And you can put any values of x and y in there, and those two expressions give you the same answer. All right, we're going to distribute a -2/7 here. So negative 2/7, you know, go to the side and cancel. I know some of you are going to do it in your head, but you can just go to the side and cancel there. That's negative 2x. Negative 2/7 times negative 35. 7 cancels, so it gets 1. That becomes a 5. Negative 2 times negative 5. This is going to be plus 10y. Whoops, 10y plus 10y. Two negatives make a positive. And then we got negative 2/7 times 21. 7 becomes a 1. The 21 becomes a 3. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6. That's our simplified expression. No like terms there. All right, distributing a negative 4. So negative 4 times 1/2. That becomes minus 2x. That's a minus 1/3. So negative 4 times negative 1/3. There's no canceling at all, but two negatives make a positive, and that makes plus 4/3. Okay. So that all is called the distributive property of multiplication. Your teacher last year may have just called it distributive property, but there's actually two versions. And here's the other version. This is the distributive property of division. All right, so we're going to divide both of those things by 2. Remember, there's a rule in math that it's just like that thing is surrounded by parentheses. We don't write them, but they're there. So x divided by 2, right? And then 6 divided by 2. And now, right, we're going to simplify that. And so you can write x over 2 plus 3. Could you also write, what did we just learn? X over 2 is also the same as 1/2 x. So you could write that as 1/2 x plus 3 as well. Either of those are correct. But in this situation, you have to divide both of those terms by 2. Distributive property of division. All right, same thing here. So 12x divided by 3 is 4x. Minus, or negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. That's how it works. Same thing here. So 2x divided by 3, right? So you have choice. You could write 2x over 3, or you could write 2/3 x. Same thing. 12y, positive 12y divided by 3, positive 4y. And last but not least, negative 3 or minus 3 divided by 3, negative 1 or minus 1. So either of those answers are correct. All right, we're at practice. Do all 4 of these before I put up the answers. So 9x plus 27, distribute a negative 4. Minus 8x minus 4. 9x minus 8x, 1x. I'm going to write x. 27 minus 4, positive 23. Done. 14x plus 35, distributing a negative 1 there. Minus 1x minus 2. 14x minus x, 13x, 35 minus 2, positive 33. Distributing a negative 3/8. The 8's cancel, and you get negative 3x. 3/8, negative 3/8 times negative positive 32. That's minus 12y. And negative 3/8 times 4. And I'm getting what? Ooh, I'm getting, is that right? Negative 3/8 times 4. And so we get minus 3/2 here. Yes. We get the fraction. Do not, oh, by the way, do not change this to 1/2. We do not put mixed numbers into equations or expressions. Please leave them improper. You could make it a decimal if you really felt the need, but we're doing fractions. Why would you do that? Distribute, you have to divide both of those. So you have to do negative 24 x over 4 minus 4 over 4. You can write it out that way. And you get negative 6x minus 1. All right, so we're multiplying by negative 4/5 x. All right, everyone seems to have done that correctly. right? The x is not in the denominator anywhere. So then we have negative 4/5 times negative 35, and that becomes negative 7. Negative 4 times negative positive 28. Which expressions are equivalent? Both of these. This time it was that part that was wrong, right? That should be positive 28. Final question. So divide all of those by 2. I'm going to write it out the long way this time. Probably should have done that the first time. Divide all of those by 2 and you get 4x minus y plus 3. Good luck on the homework.